personality, very knowledgeable and very eloquent. So we look forward so much to hearing from him.
Thank you very much, Vishakha Mataji. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. What has happened is certainly a very devastating blow for our whole movement. It's a very big loss. It has left a big void, not just in one city or one country, but all over the world for the entire Vaishnava community globally. And personally also, so many devotees everywhere are feeling a sense of deep personal loss. It's not just a question of a person being very influential in ISKCON or having made contributions, and therefore the movement will have a setback because of the passing away of such a person. That is definitely there, but the kind of personal impact his passing has had on so many devotees all over the world is something very significant. There are some people who touch the hearts of anyone and everyone they meet. And there are some people who just become so close to everybody's heart that for everyone it becomes a very deep personal loss. And over the last day or two, or even before that, we've been seeing outpourings of genuine heartfelt emotion from so many Vaishnavas, senior devotees, as well as even newcomers who I have spoken to. And over the last few days I've been constantly doing that almost all the time. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami was such a special personality. Every once in a while in this material world we see a special personality who walks the surface of this planet and leaves a very lasting contribution. In material history, there have been many great kings and other such personalities who have left behind what appears to be very, very significant legacies. But apart from the fact that their names may still appear in a textbook of history, their contributions aren't really lasting because they have no spiritual value or impact. But when a very great Krishna conscious personality leaves, it leaves behind a heritage or a legacy of something very extraordinary, an extraordinary legacy of Krishna consciousness. And this is really something special about His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Such a genuine and exalted Vaishnava sadhu, so completely surrendered and dedicated to Srila Prabhupada, to Sri Krishna. Just day and night he was only thinking about how this movement could be pushed ahead. He had absolutely no hesitation in glorifying devotees even when he saw the slightest spark of good qualities. And his appreciation for devotees was always from the heart. It was genuine. It was not just done as a formality or just done officially because it has to be done by devotees, but it was genuine from the heart. And he was always profuse in his appreciation for everybody. Always smiling, always greeting everyone with such genuine warmth every time he met them. You know, this is something special. You know, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we read that Krishna is like a Vaidurya stone, a precious stone that has so many different colors depending on which angle you look at it from. Depending on the angle at which the sun's rays strike the jewel, different colors appear in that jewel. And Krishna is compared to a jewel like that, and different people can look at Krishna from different angles and relish his personality and qualities. So similarly it is with his devotees. So Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj had so many wonderful devotional qualities, but above all we see that he was able to bind everybody together and they all loved him. And yet, because he was such a multifaceted personality, as all great devotees are, he had so many aspects to him which appealed to so many people. His beautiful singing from the heart of not just the kirtan of the Mahamantra, but also the Vaishnava songs, his beautiful classes, his personal interactions with everyone, all of these things have left an indelible mark on the hearts of devotees. So in the midst of all his multifarious qualities, I want to focus for a few minutes today only on one aspect of his contributions to this world and specifically to the Krishna consciousness movement, and that is Vaishnava culture. It is not only that Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj gave a series of lectures on Vaishnava etiquette, which then assumed the form of a website and then some literature and so on. It's not only that he gave classes on Vaishnava etiquette, but he was the epitome or the perfect example of Vaishnava culture. He was walking, talking Vaishnava culture. And many times it may happen that someone becomes a stickler for minute things, and sometimes somebody may be neglectful of certain things. As Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar of Instruction, Niyam Agraha and Niyam Agraha, you know, either too fanatically adhering to certain very small things or completely just being dismissive of them. But His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj exhibited a perfect balance of both. He kept in mind the bigger picture. He exhibited and spoke about the perfect attitude of Vaishnava culture, and at the same time he also paid very great attention to detail. And this is something that I noted very much in all the interactions with him. You know, whether it was in terms of Vaishnava dress or appearance or anything else. I remember one time he pulled up a temple president in a particular place because that the temple president was not appropriately dressed. He had a beard and he was wearing shorts and he had come to the temple, and so Maharaj basically just pointed out straight away, and he was always conscious of these little things, of how a person in a position of responsibility should dress and how, so he would point out these little things. But particularly when it came to hospitality, that was where I believe he was in his element. It was his most loved activity, I think, apart from chanting. He just loved to serve the devotees. And he was such a great host. He would make every single devotee feel so much at home. He would walk up to every devotee and inquire about his or her welfare, about whether they had eaten prasadam properly, whether they wanted something, and it was genuine. And he would personally cook. I remember seeing him once in Mayapur, actually on several occasions, but one particular occasion comes to mind, where in Mayapur he hosted a large group of devotees who had assembled for some meetings, and he had volunteered to arrange a feast for the devotees. And he personally decided what the menu was. He thought about it in great detail, listed out every single item, had a meeting with the devotees who were cooking. He personally gave them detailed instructions of how to cook every single item. And he, time to time, went there to supervise, to see that they were doing things right. And he would correct them whenever he felt there was some need for correction. And then he wanted everything to be on time. He wanted everything to be served in just the right way. He wanted the setup of the prasadam hall to be just right. And he wanted all the devotees to be welcomed properly. And then when they came there, he was there welcoming everybody, made everybody comfortable and sat them down. He personally oversaw the serving of the prasadam. So this kind of attention to detail in the midst of seeing the bigger picture, not losing sight of the overall situation, is something that was a very special feature, I believe, in his personality. And it's not that he did that only in Ujjain or in Mayapur, but he was like that everywhere. I remember meeting him in other places as well, in several other places, and he was exactly the same. And even if he was visiting at some place, he would still act as a host. He would ensure that everyone was comfortable, that the prasadam was nice. So he had very high standards that he expected of devotees when it came to Vaishnava etiquette, and specifically to Vaishnava care and hospitality. And he actually set the example himself. He taught by personal example and also by giving instruction when necessary. He wasn't shy to reprimand, and I have seen that aspect of his personality also, when he felt that things were not going right, and this was not the proper culture, not the proper etiquette. But because he was so genuine, nobody really took it to heart or took umbrage at it. They understood that he was so genuine. So they accepted that reprimand in the right spirit. So Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was the personification of Vaishnava etiquette, being so warm, being so personal. And I think this is a very, very important contribution to the society of devotees. In an age when it is so hard to retain traditional cultures and values that our acharyas have spoken about. And in a community, such culture is a very important binding force. It's a very important inspiring force. It's a very important soothing element that inspires devotees. And this is preaching also, actually. Preaching is not only giving lectures, but Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj demonstrated that by a practical exhibition of acts of Vaishnava culture, he could bond so many devotees in such a nice way, and that would enhance the loving relationships between the devotees. And that is also something that would attract many, many other devotees to, or even non-devotees to come and eventually become part of this movement. So I think apart from so many other contributions of his, to my mind, this is something that really stands out. His contributions to explaining, to speaking about, to writing about, and demonstrating through his own life Vaishnava culture. For me personally, he was always very loving, and I will dearly miss him. And it has been difficult, as it for everybody else, in the last few days. And I have been trying to reflect on my several interactions with him. And I can understand how difficult it must be for those who were very close to him personally, who served him very personally, and in and around the Bhaktivedanta Manor area, many devotees were so close to him. And another thing I just want to mention in the passing before I conclude is that, he didn't make a distinction between disciples and non-disciples. This is something I noticed many times, that he would give as much energy, as much attention, as much care and genuine love to any devotee. And it didn't matter whether it was a disciple or not a disciple. So this kind of a feeling or an attitude, an approach, a big-hearted approach is the sign of a genuine Vaishnava, whose heart is big enough to accommodate everybody. And these are some things that I recall of His Holiness, and I hope and pray that personally I will be able to exhibit even a fraction of these qualities. I know how difficult it is for all those of you in the manor who were his disciples, are his disciples, and also served him very personally. I think we are all united today in our sorrow and pain, but coming together like this and sharing his glories, I hope will help to alleviate some of our pain and entrench him even deeper into. There are many exalted Vaishnavas to come who are going to speak about the glories of Srila Bhakti Maharaj. Very much. I'm honored and happy that I had the opportunity to speak to all of you today. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anande Hari Hari.